You are playing a game that you don't even know the rule. The truth is, many supervisors and examiners operate based on some certain expectations that they don't really spell out. They've been in academia so long that this feels obvious to them, but for you, the student, it feels like you're playing a game. Only them knows the rule book. Each time you submit a draft, you are penalized for a rule that you were never taught. This isn't about you being slow, lazy, or incapable. It's about a system that withholds clarity and judges you for not having it. And one of the most common ways that this shows up is in two words that means everything and nothing at the same time: more depth. So when a supervisor writes in the margin needs more depth, what do they actually mean? What are they looking for? What do they want? Let's decode it. So the first one is more depth can mean connect dots more explicitly. So you can have a strong ideas, but the problem is you are not showing how those ideas link back to your research question or your theoretical frameworks or your literatures. So you've written the facts, you've written your ideas, but you do not show how those ideas or those facts come together to paint a picture. So your examiner is staring at your draft thinking, okay, I see different pictures, but why are they in the same book? Why do they belong here? Examiners don't want to infer your thinking. They don't want to guess. They want you to explain everything explicitly. State the reason why this belongs in this place. You need to explain how everything is connected. You need to show the relationship between all you've written or everything that you are going to write. And the second one is more depth can also mean show, don't just tell. Now, this is when you make certain claims or you state conclusions without telling your examiners or your supervisor how you arrived at that conclusion. You need to show them some evidence. If you don't, examiners assume you don't know it. So each time you're writing a statement like, nurses play a key role in patient decision making, you want to follow it with a statement that shows how you arrived at that conclusion. How did you find out? Is it from your study findings or a specific theory or well-established study? You need to provide examples or even delve into the nuances of your findings. For example, if you are stating that nurses play a key role in patient decision making, you want to immediately follow it with a statement like, this is supported by X's study, which suggested that nurses' communication patterns influences patient decision making significantly. So every important statement gets a reason attached to it. Now the third one is more depth can sometimes mean you should engage with nuances and add some counter arguments. Now, academia isn't about proving that you are right. That's not what academic writing is all about. You need to show that you understand complexities. So more depth can mean that you should acknowledge limitation, you should add some counter arguments or add some interpretations that do not fully align with yours. Now, this can show up when you say this findings suggest X, but cannot be applied to a certain with a limited resources. Meaning that you are showing the examiner that you are not just reporting information, you are evaluating it along the way. Now, this is really where frustration comes in, because what supervisors call depth often requires invisible label for you to decode it, because it could mean a lot of things. By learning to decode a feedback like this, you are not just revising a paper, you are learning how the system thinks. And once you understand that, the power dynamic shifts. Now, if this explanation has already helped you to clarify a feedback that you've been stuck on in this channel, is for you. Now, let's talk about how you take control, how you stop guessing and start being strategic. Number one thing that you need to do is to study exemplar papers. Now, what I mean is, in your field or in the field of nursing, in any specialty that you are researching in, you want to go into that specialty and look at some published papers, especially in high-ranking journals, and look at how they explain things, how they attach reasons to their findings. You want to notice how those authors often explain why something matters in their research, not just what they found. By doing that, you get an idea of what your supervisor really wants you to do. Now, the second thing you want to do is to keep a feedback log. Now, you want to write down some of the most common comments that you receive from your supervisor and what they meant after revising them. As time goes on, you are going to build your own personal rule book. You don't have to repeating that same mistake. For example, okay, today your supervisor says more depth. Okay, you struggle to find out what they really want, what they meant. So you're going to write it down in your rule book. This is what they want. So next time they say more depth, you know that this is what they actually want in that particular section. Now, the third thing you should do is to ask your supervisor targeted clarifying question. Instead of asking them, what do you want me to fix? Rather ask them that, when you say more depth in this section, what do you actually want me to write? Are you referring to stronger theoretical grounding, or more empirical evidence, or deeper discussion of implications? That's not academic insecurity, that's academic maturity. And naturally, your supervisor is there to hold your hand, to guide you, even though I know that it's not always like that. But you still have to ask questions if you don't know. Understanding these unwritten rules is a superpower in academic research. You are not just a student following instruction. You are a decoder learning how the system actually works. So now, what's the most confusing comment that you've ever received from your supervisor? Please drop it in the comments. Let's decode it together. And if you want more insight into navigating the often opaque world of nursing research, like this video and please subscribe to my channel.